in my own room. My own masters, I'm my own master, in debt to my own loan. I'm in my own zone. Within my own home, I'm in my own throne. My own skin, no clone. I'm in my own zone. From the hip to the thigh bone. From the lip to the microphone, I'm like a disciple stone. Yet much larger than this fleshly vessel, more like an architectural lecture with its trestle board. Polished and tougher, I embrace the struggle. Broke free from the dome, I escaped the bubble. They say trust your signs, but somebody's lying. Try my patience, I'm aligned with Mother Nature, frying these agents of this dying matrix. I'm in my own zone, within my own home. I'm in my own throne, my own skin, no clone. Since 1970, there I was born. Robert Taylor's 92nd Access, Buckingham to one. First Sister Clever Homage School, then fellowship Christian Academy. Just before I went public, still stuck with self adamantly. Spark from the infinite. See the sun, I'm equivalent. The eminent instrument of the eminent, the legit militant. Break it down in increments. Rid the land of immigrant, misogynist and feminist. Restore the innocent. Half-rich of Indians. Round pegs and square holes. Kindred spirits and rare souls. Discard the scarecrows. Better yet, the straw man. Pebbleboard rhetoric of the law man. It was us European soul, and ever since squatted on our land. Slaughtered our clans. Chartered our sands, auctioned us through birth certificates, social security, bartered our branches, census, or the doll's rolls, religious books, or lost scrolls. Everywhere we turn, crossroads, to relearn or more, it's most more. I'm not talking horse cold. Purge the family tree, they've infected the bloodlines of the autochthonous Niji, brought with them disease, their pale-faced Slavic Maytags, Gregorian calendar holidays, turned the rainbow to a gay flag. They made treaties with tribes they recognized federally and ethnically. They were in cahoots with the Iroquois Confederacy. It's my destiny, along with the ancient ones, to return for everything they owe. I don't mean government-sanctioned funds. I got other artistic notions of mine that's high-flown, because the land's fly-blown. Look for me in a cyclone. Great spirit, quick in my bones. I'm a true and living soul. Son of the great matriarch. My heart glistening gold. Everyone wants to walk in the sun with her, but she'll run to the one who will dance in the rain for her until it's done. I'm in my own zone, within my own home. I'm in my own throne, my own skin, no clone. On long going in for the wind, ozone, 10 toes strong, closed doors are opening, siphoning, my own tone, microphoning, my own song, on my own right and my own wrong. My own masters, I'm my own master, in debt to my own loan. I'm in my own zone, within my own home. I'm in my own throne, my own skin, no clone. I'm in my own zone, within my own home. Because the land's fly blown, look for me in a cyclone. Microphone, my own song, my own skin, no clone. And that'll still be once them foreigners are long gone. Oshio, to my knees, J Bravo, Bravo. Plenty much gratitude for this collabo. Yeah, it's been a long time since Greensville, bro, started. Yet we here now. And the ancestors said to fuck some shit up. So here we are. Check it out. Is it the Great Reset or the Great Awakening? Great America or make America great again? Zombie apocalypse or a space invasion from an alien, or is it enemy or a fake friend? Artificial intelligence and clones are scriptural. Is it miracle or a spell cast magic ritual? Is it religion or is the path spiritual? Is the class pan-African but status aboriginal? I'm not here to debate or be argumentative. A little bit of common sense to dictate we are innocent. Their intent is to slip the start of as if they swift with our children who's being robbed of their fifth. Human trafficking, child sacrifice, adrenochrome, corrupt government in position to defend its own. You part of the resistance for sure. They gon' send a drone for a lie, fact checking, but I been in a zone since I been home. Been on some let's check down Babylon, Jericho, whatever name you give it, but let's rally on. With or without you, I'm still gonna tally on. They say this is the end time, so I'ma end the finale strong. Social media got you foolish, better metaverse. Before the earth fully heals, it's gonna get hella worse. Got to be the living word, cut out that dead letter cursor. When you spit it to existence, manifest a better version. The light of the full moon, you'll soon see ToLU'S here, full bloom, a black sun, pour doom down on these Moloch worshippers, burglars of the eternal furniture of the temple of the grand furbisher. Elijah was the precursor. Y'all didn't hear him though. Instead, y'all condemned him as if he were a criminal. Whether mothership or mother wit, we back with a vengeance. Return of the ancient ones, American engine. Operation Mockingbird, the same thing as Hunger Games. Ensure that your food truly the cause of the hunger pains. Is who honestly a doctor? Are they phantoms of the opera proctors of Silicon Valley? Yeah, big pharma is Operation Naomi, America's top thing that poses for the MK Ultra program. And these doses of nanotech, these tests of swabs up their noses from youngest to oldest who inoculate this COVID. Are they the deep state or are we in a deep state? We say we got eye open, it's more like we sleep wake. Is it about enlightening or do you expose shit for clout and likes, which opposes a true socialist with this double-edged sword? I'm a true vocalist, I'm supposed to spit war upon you globalists and your 21 and 2030 agendas as the women weep for me. I'm a worthy avenger in the light of the full moon. You'll soon see ToLU'S here, full bloom, a black sun, pour doom down on these Moloch worshippers, burglars of the eternal furniture of the temple of the grand furbisher. Elijah was the precursor. Y'all didn't hear him though. Instead, y'all condemned him as if he were a criminal. Whether mothership or mother wit, we back with a vengeance. Return of the ancient ones, American engines. Respect to all the real aboriginal Neezies out there. Keep on fighting, y'all. Fellas up.
And my music, and a lot of this music, it's only talking about the suppressed rising. I mean, the oppressed rising up against the oppressor. That's all. That's what my music's about. The oppressed rising up against the oppressor. So the only people that's scared are the oppressors. The only people who can have any harm coming to them are those who oppress. Simple as that. 3 pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, make no surrender. 3 pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, make no surrender. 3 pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor.
Gee, what's up, guys? You John? Zanny, brother.
No weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, make no surrender. It's time for a change, got a bounce up. The oppressor's about to get housed up. I'ma lay him out, execution style. Too late for an apologetic claim. You rapped at a coca claim. By God, it's overdue. Your time is in the end. Lock Josh Allen without sin. He put me on the planet for justice to win. The oppressor's about to get rolled down. With suppressors attached in the war zone. Revolution can start in the Arizona. I'm a messenger popping like Farrakhan. Backed by the honorable who sits at the pinnacle. Who judges the hypocritical, cynical, and the pitiful simple. My thinking is critical. I'm just ventilating of the actions of the protective service. Quick to pull the Glock, blast and kill this. Don't take any kind of skill. I'm ill of all citizens who haven't took a stand. Over meals too late when the caps get pills. Don't believe in GC type. Going hits close to home. You gotta act the bone, but it got the dome. When it's on the zone, all red on my vision through sight. It's gonna be killed whenever I fight. From above, I've been given the right. So you better be ready to ride tonight. On the way to the dawn daylight. We gon' let him off, so gon' pass the kite. 3 pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, make no surrender. 3 pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, make no surrender. 3 pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, make no surrender. 3 pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, make no surrender. This world is such a, and when I say this world, I mean it. I don't mean in an ideal sense. I mean in every day, every little thing you do. It's such a, gimme, gimme, gimme. Everybody back off. You know, everybody's like, if you taught that from school, everywhere, big business. You want to be successful, you want to be like Trump, gimme, 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 push, 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 step, 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 crush, crush, crush. That's how it all is. And it's like, nobody ever stopped.
What's going on, y'all? Let's get this read on. How's it going, everybody? Hope y'all enjoyed the last video. I just got through watching well, about 15 minutes ago, I got through watching Delusion Humanity had a pretty good one. And y'all know, I hope y'all went and watched Cure Meals. That was fantastic. It's good to see the brothers and sisters when they choose to show themselves, and in which Cure Meal has many times, and address and talk and have this simple conversation. And you're always going to get the people who are troubled. The thing is, you don't have to ascertain where they're at. But those of us who can, we can respond to them. And we can do it through due diligence, because we don't have to carry on and act away. You know, you see me when I act a certain way, or because I know I can back me up. The thing is, don't have to. Everything is pretty simplistic. It is not as complicated as it may, you may perceive it, or it may seem. It isn't. You know, trust me. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into this read. It's going to be a pretty decent one. I'm going to read long, okay? I'm not going to say I'm going to come back on 7 and read, because I might be laying here with the cat looking at me, you know, like when we was Matrika, and I might be pushing snot bubbles and snoring. Excuse the French, but you know what I mean? But anyway, exposing the expositions of 1851 to 1915, Howdy Mikowski's revised 2021 edition from his 2019. Of course, you know, as I'm always going to show you, because I need that to be embedded in your mind and you to give it positive thoughts. We can build this. I can. The Court of Honor, okay, with that fake statue. All right. Hey, Scott, what's going on, beloved? I wish it would be lovely to see more people step in and talk. What was I going to address? I was going to, so people have really been paying attention. And as I stated, when I'm at the store, I follow certain individuals. I can't follow everybody, because a lot of so-called foreigners or tourists. I have disdain for both words. We shouldn't have to call one another tourists. But anyway, I watch them shop. They don't buy the meat. And surprisingly, they've been buying the GMO oranges compared to the organic ones. Now, I've already addressed the fact that the organic ones aren't really all that organic. But I just watched my neighbor, the Hindu, got a job at the hospital, got a car in no time, just like the African woman over that way. Both of them got a car around the same week. All right, so the same two old light-skinned Ashkenaz or Uzar woman. And they get food dropped off to them fresh. I saw vegetables. So I stepped to the window and looked down. And they got boxes with fresh produce that is not from the store here. It is not from Flagstaff. And it is definitely not from the reservation. Have y'all been paying attention? Have you been watching? They don't care about the majority of the people that came across the border, because they know they're broken because of what they've done down there and everywhere else. There are soldiers that did come, as I stated. You can pull the videos up, where some of them who don't want no parts of it, who have already said they will fight their own brothers who came here for other purposes. Why is it that nobody's looking for those videos? I know they take them down, especially TikTok, as soon as they put them up. But it's the ones that you miss where the people interview them. and they're around a group of individuals, and they know they can't say nothing because they know that there's somebody who's in charge. But there have been a few, whether in New York, Detroit, Texas, California, who have found a way to get away and express this. Now, are they in danger? Of course. It goes against what these individuals are attempting to do. These so-called, who's, Chazars, or whatever you want to call them. And I saw what had to be the biggest head of fresh cauliflower I have ever seen. And they're vegans. They don't eat meat. And let me tell you, the cauliflower, when there is some at the store, is wrapped in plastic, about that big, like a cabbage, with a crown, wrapped in nothing. I was like, that's the third time. Now, I'm not shutting down the game. What I'm saying is, he works at the hospital. And there are others. I know a security guy. He's one of us. Ignorant. You get what I'm saying? Armed. And even he's starting to go like this. Okay? I would prefer not to be saying that here, but y'all are nowhere around here. Y'all in those cities and suburbs. You're lacking and slacking, being lazy. You're comfortable where you're at as if, oh, well, if it happens, that is weak. And this is what happens when the majority of civilians, whether it doesn't matter if you're autochthonous, aboriginal, indigenous, when you claim something, but you're still living the way they've established, you'll have no training. You have no perception to see these things. This is not the fearmonger. You cannot attain the knowledge overnight to see what you need to see. And ergo, you won't even venture to look unless, if I never said nothing, you wouldn't even look. Do you see how shared knowledge works? Anyway, let me go ahead and get into reading. I don't want to beat a dead horse in the head. And I was thinking about ordering a book, but I guess I'm just talking this because it sounds good or something. I don't know. But anywho, let's go ahead and get into it. If you recall, we left off yesterday. We were talking about the telephone, telegraph, actually the cities and the poles, and the fact that the poles probably utilized were suggestive for free energy and so forth. And we cleared St. Louis, and So let's go ahead and pick up right from there. Like the story of the other fairs, this was meant to open in 1903. Okay, now we're talking about from the 1890s on up. Okay, when they built so-called this brand thing, along the midways and all the buildings, and the fact that there may be some that were just wood and plaster. That's not how they built back then. But yes, there were some that was temporary to give a different look, and those buildings weren't really that great. You can look at the pictures. Remember I said pull them up, and I actually have a whole bunch that are saved. I would hope that y'all would go and check them out. Okay, but anyway, let's carry on. Like the story of other fairs, this was meant to open in 1903, but it had to be delayed 1 year to get everything built. There is no way this could be built in a couple of years. But if the main buildings only had to be refurbished and painted, now then perhaps the rest of the structures and the pike might have been built. But once you get a glimpse later of just how big and complicated the pike actually was, it will be hard to believe they built even that in 2 years. Now, the only things left today are the St. Louis Art Museum. Have any of y'all ventured there and see that? Just traveling. You don't have to live there. I've been there. Okay? And the bird cage at the zoo. And I've looked at both. And let me tell you something. I knew good and well, even today, it would just be copying something that was already established. Okay? Again, why only build just one real building and fake ones for the rest? Why is there this idea at each of these fairs to build just one real structure? Okay? Why? Now, the fair was opened in 1904 by President Francis, with these remarks: "Open ye gates, spring wide ye portals, enter in, ye sons of men, and behold the achievement of your race. Learn the lesson here taught, and gather from it inspiration to still greater achievements." I found interesting the list of it being a portal. And behold, the achievements. What achievements? And what race is being referred to? Well, this was to initiate the initiation of the so-called new white race, utilizing terms like, well, you know many of them. I don't want to throw slight at people, but they're not Caucasian. That was a Negroid race of people, if you want to get into races, accentuating from that of Atlantis and Egypt, you know. Now, the exposition was massive, twice as large as Chicago, at over 1,200 acres, okay, with over 1,500 buildings, connected by some 75 miles, 121 kilometers of roads and walkways. Chicago was only 693 acres. The Palace of Agriculture alone covered some 20 acres, and that's 81,000 miles square. Again, we are dealing with an exposition of giant structures: domes, towers, columns, arches, lakes, canals. 2 years to build from scratch on 1,200 acres of buildings, roads, fountains, sewers, lagoons, and all the landscapes? No way. There is no better place to start than the Palace of Agriculture, and the exposition's largest. The building measured 546 feet wide and 1,660 feet long. And I don't think y'all know, if y'all walked that out, and had the height of an 8-story building, a walk of 3/4 of a mile was required to simply pass around it. Inside were 10,000 exhibits of 15 countries and 42 states. On the east side of its exterior was the largest rose garden in the world, covering 10 acres and displaying 1 million flowers. To the north was the floral clock, which had 13,000 flowering plants covering its face. Did we or did we not invent? I mean, you think about it, Big Ben, the clock. Remember I read our inventions? I did. You can go back and watch a couple of videos. Look at me on TikTok reading from one of my books. The clock. That's why they call it Big Ben over in Europe. Dun, dun, dun. Anyway, it was the largest clock in the world, operated by compressed air. The minute hand was 75 feet long and weighed 2,700 pounds and moved 5 feet every minute. The hour hand was 50 feet long. Interestingly, cameras could be used anywhere on the fairgrounds except within the agriculture building. That piques my curiosity right there. So what was there inside of that building that the organizers did not want anyone to photograph? The Palace of Fine Arts was supposedly the only permanent building built by Cass Gilbert, the architect who designed the United States Supreme Court building, and we know he didn't. He often used the Beaux-Arts style to reflect the optimistic American sense that the nation was the heir of Greek democracy, Roman law, and Renaissance humanism. For the Palace of St. Louis, Gilbert was heavily inspired by the baths of Caracalla in Rome, Italy. Again, that direct imitation of specific buildings in ancient Rome. The structure was built from Bedford stone. Ooh, the highest quality limestone in the United States or in America. All the 11,000 art exhibits were on the ground floor with 134 skylights. This is a view from the forest tower. The forest tower. I really want you to pay attention. If you think these imbeciles who only know war during this period, 1893 to 904, could build something like this, then you are truly doing yourself a disservice. Can't make that up. Obviously, they did. Man, they like savage nothings destroyed it. And again, all these pictures, when you look at the sky, they're all painted complete white. What they've been hiding from you were our blimps and many other things, and the fact that there were no clouds. No clouds whatsoever. I could read more. Why? No, a little bit at a time. I know the importance of a little bit, baby steps. Very important. Oh my goodness. Heaven Bearers, The Great Reset of 1834 and the Mud Flood by Janine Helen. Phenomenal book. Hey Scott, what's going on, beloved? And there she is in South Africa. If y'all wouldn't, did y'all any of y'all find Janine Helen, Heaven Bearers? I think you put Heaven Bearers and pull up on Instagram. I don't know any other. I think YouTube she may. No, not YouTube. Instagram is where I saw it at. It might be a Facebook account. Okay. She has plenty of other books. All right, plenty. She's definitely an author. Okay, let's go ahead and get it. Now, you remember she's going to see what's going on because the tree of life was succumbing, crumbling. And her and Malcolm had to go and try and attempt to find her. Remember when I was last reading? To save the tree of life. Okay, so let's get it in. So right here, we are just about the last chapter. And then we'll get into the age of deception, which it has a teaser. I don't have to read the teaser unless you want to hear it, but we'll get right into this. This is the last little chapter here. Ooh. Okay. He takes Bonnie up into the canopy, and she looks around for her. Among all the dead leaves and broken branches, the tree of life is lying on the floor in the form of the old lady and that she remembers talking to, and she is clutching onto her stomach. She is bleeding, and Bonnie runs up to her to help her. "We need to stop the bleeding," she says, and she takes her hand and presses down hard, but the blood starts to flow more. "What happened? Where is Mother Nature? Where is she?" she asks her with a calm voice, but her eyes are a dead giveaway as to how frantic she really is inside. The grains. Her adrenaline is pumping, and hard, and her hands are trembling. The tree of life tries to talk, but nothing leaves her mouth. She struggles to lift up her hand, but manages just enough to point it towards the dark end of the canopy. Bonnie follows her movements and is terrified at the sight of the darkness. But she knows she has to act quickly and save her people. This is her chance for redemption. "The staff, Malcolm! I need the staff! Where is it?" Her eyes muster up a faded gold flash, and she can feel it is near. She stands up and walks down towards the darkness, and Malcolm grabs her by the arm suddenly. "Bonnie, no! You have no powers anymore. You need to stay here and take care of the tree of life. Let me handle this," he pleads, but he knows she has already made up her mind and won't listen to him. Not this time. Too much is at stake, Malcolm. Whew. She shakes her head slowly, and her eyes are cold. We don't have time. She is dying, and Mother Nature doesn't have much time either. Follow me, he says, and takes the lead. His luminous green eyes light up the darkness that lies in front of them, just barely. She follows him slowly and carefully, concentrating hard on sensing the staff. She sees the blue stones light up one by one, and her heart begins to beat with relief. She approaches the staff, bends down, and picks it up gently, and there is a bright blue flash the moment she touches it with her fingertips, and it causes the canopy to vibrate hard. The vibrations cause all the remaining leaves to fall off until there are none left. For the first time in history, since the time of creation, the canopy is bare and naked. She feels a soft hand touch her back, and she turns. Around to see the tree of life smiling at her, and she is no longer bleeding. Tree of life, you're okay. She looks over at Malcolm and then back at her. What is happening? Everything is okay now, dear. Look. She waves her hand around in front of Bonnie. The darkness is gone, and the leaves are budding again. Bonnie reluctantly looks around her and notices the darkness has completely dissipated. There are green buds on all the branches, and they are growing into fresh, new, and healthy leaves. The tree is healing itself, and Bonnie knows it will all be okay. Malcolm sighs out in relief and rubs his hands over his face. The blue stones on the staff stop glowing, and they both stand there and watch in awe as the canopy heals itself completely within 15 minutes. I still don't understand what is happening. This time, Malcolm is asking the tree of life, and her eyes turn sad and dreary. The war is not over, I am afraid. It has only just begun. It's just begun to feel the groove. Oh, sorry about that. She replies and disappears. Ba-da-bum, ba-da-bum, okay, I'm going back to my breakdancing days. Heaven Bearers, The Age of Deception, Book 2. Now, there is a teaser, and I read this last time. I'll read just a little bit, because we can go right into the next book, actually. The town square is packed with people of all ages and races. The Tartarians have accepted the Phoenicians and humans as their equal. After all, their beloved new queen is married to one. It is midsummer, the sun is shining brightly, and the air is fresh, and the wind is completely still. Could you imagine? Well, you can speak it into reality, you know. There is happiness, awe, and excitement in the air. Everywhere, and even the clouds have formed neatly in the sky for this important day. She takes her position next to her husband. They each hold one of the twins firmly in their arms. Amelia and Emil are only 3 months old, and Bonnie is about to be sworn in as Queen of the Great New Empire of Tartaria and Protector of the Earth. You can reestablish it, you know. She is wearing a simple yet elegant champagne-colored gown with long sleeves and a low-cut neckline. She is wearing a shiny cushion cut purple stone around her neck, and her hair is neatly styled up so that only a few strands shape her pretty face. Pretty? The top of her head glistens bright as the light touches the diamond tiara that she is wearing. It is the exact same one she wore on her union day to Malcolm and belonged to his mother. It belonged to his mother. She is beaming with excitement and purpose. She waves to her people, and they cheer with joy and hope, and it echoes all across the city. Queen Bonnie, Queen Bonnie. The crowd cheers gracefully, and her eyes scan over them as they wave and gesture for her attention. She can see so many happy faces, smiling faces, that she doesn't recognize at all. Shouting out to her, wanting her attention, and she feels completely overwhelmed. Did she do the Michael Jackson moonwalk? Anywho, Malcolm gives her a gentle and reassuring smile and takes a meal from her arm so that the proceedings can begin. Cassiel stands up, walks to face the crowd, and holds up his hands to calm and quiet them down. It takes a few minutes until there is complete silence, and he waits patiently for them to settle down. He proceeds to take the staff of the elders from the mahogany table, mahogany, y'all, covered with a silver linen cloth, and he holds it up with pride. The crowd starts to cheer uncontrollably at the mere sight of it, and he hands it to his new queen. My Queen Bonnie, wife of Malcolm Harrington, and ruler of the great Tartarian Empire. He places it gently into her hands and gives her a respectful grin and slightly bows his head in complete submission to her. Bonnie gracefully accepts the staff from him, and it lights up slowly. Each stone shines a bright blue. The illumination causes the crowd to keep dead quiet as they stare in awe and relish in all its glory. She takes a deep breath, you know, from the diaphragm, people, as you're supposed to breathe, and can feel Malcolm in her mind. You look absolutely stunning in that dress, Bonnie. I can't wait to take it off of you later. You hear me, Snoo? I know you're asleep. She gives him a reprimanding look, and he winks back at her. He smiles. His smile. Excuse me, hers. I just got a notification. I saw it. Her smile is stretching from ear to ear. She has everything she could ever want and much more. I do love this man, she mutters just loud enough for him to hear, and she takes 3 steps forward to address the crowd. Thank you, Tartaria. She waits a moment for the crowd to settle down a little bit more and feels their infectious smiles penetrating her soul. Thank you all for coming today and accepting me as your new queen. She looks over at Cassiel, and he takes a step forward with a big smile and stops in position slightly behind her. The crowd starts to cheer again, and he relishes every moment. Cassiel has always wanted to rule. He dreamt of this day since he was a little boy, and deep down inside it saddens him that he isn't standing next to her as her husband, but merely her advisor. He places his hand on her lower back, and with the other he waves to the crowd. He can feel Malcolm's eyes bore into him, but he ignores him completely. He can't have her, but this doesn't mean he won't try his luck from time to time. Cassiel suddenly drops his hand from her back and flexes his fingers, and his smile softens slightly. Malcolm chuckles to himself softly and can't help but grin. He knows Bonnie wasn't having any of it and must have given him a slight electric shock. I stand before each one of you today, whether you are Tartarian, Phoenician, or human, and I declare that and remember, you are not human, my brothers and sisters. I declare that we are all equal citizens of the great empire of Tartaria. We shall all share in her good fortune and her riches. I declare peace and harmony, which will be achieved as a matter of the will of our hearts. She swallows hard suddenly and gazes in silence for a moment. We have achieved a new covenant with Mother Nature, and I look forward to a healthy and trusting relationship with her. Her eyes flash gold, and the memories of that dreadful day replay in her mind also softly. To the covenant! To the covenant! The crowd cheers in unison, and the strength of their cheer gives her goosebumps. They run all over the way, down her spine, and she has never felt so much purpose in all her life. She is proud and amazed at the love and trust that is radiating from the people that stand before her. We must, however, not forget how we reached this point. We lost many good and innocent souls, fathers, mothers, siblings, children. You thought I was going to say children, and loved ones. Her voice breaks with emotion, and she needs to clear her throat. I implore each of you to bow your heads now as we remember them and together share a minute of silence. She bows her head, and the crowd follows her lead and bow their heads without hesitation. She is thinking about her father in this very moment, and she can't help but wish he was here today. She can feel Malcolm comfort her thoughts, and she raises her head again. Citizens of Tartaria, the war is not over. I wish I had better news, but I do not. I cannot claim to know the day or the hour, nor can I tell you whether it will be soon or in many years to come. But the angel of death has escaped through the firmament. And I know he will return one day and try to lay siege to our new empire, our home. She takes a deep breath and scans all the faces in the front row. He will not succeed again, not this time. So let him come. The crowd cheers hysterically, and the sound echoes back and forth like ocean waves crashing up against a rock wall at the edge of the shoreline. Bonnie, it is time. Cassiel gestures for her to get down onto her knee. One, that is. So she can take her oath. He takes the staff from her and holds it out in front of her. Please place your hand here, my queen, and repeat after me. She places her right hand gently onto the staff of the elders and makes full eye contact with him. His eyes draw her in completely, and time stands still. Images flash before her eyes, and she knows that destiny was real. She was meant to be his, and she doesn't understand why destiny didn't succeed. What stopped it, she wonders, and quickly shakes the thought away. I, Queen Bonnie Harrington, the duly elected ruler, do hereby swear my allegiance to the Empire of Tartaria. I promise to never lie, cheat, or deceive in any way or form, and await a slow and painful death if I break my oath. She suddenly pulls her eyes away from Cassiel. She feels nauseous and wants to puke. There is a presence among them. She can't see or feel who it is, but she can feel him or her, and she knows that this presence is pure evil. She tries to regain her composure and musters up a smile, but it feels fake. Somewhere, someone will betray you. This is what her father told her. And she now knows that he is right. There is someone here that will betray her, and her body tenses up because she knows it will be someone who she will trust and not suspect. She can feel Malcolm focus his gaze at her. He is trying to read her thoughts, but she blocks him out completely and pretends her mind isn't wandering. They finish the proceedings, and she stands up proudly next to Cassiel. They wave one more time, and in that moment, she is very glad to have him share the responsibilities with her. Although not officially, he loves his people. He would die for them, and this is what is needed to rule the empire well, and most importantly, fairly. Malcolm and Bonnie leave New York and go back home to their mansion in Montreal. They have spent 2 weeks there, and she looks forward to the change of scenery. Bonnie doesn't want to live anywhere else. Montreal is home, and it always will be. She kicks off her shoes, and Jane suddenly appears from nowhere and helps her with Amelia. Thank you, Jane. It has been a long day, she says, as she hands Amelia to her. She is fast asleep, and she can't help but smile at her angelic little face. Malcolm follows James upstairs with a meal himself, and they put them both to bed. Bonnie walks over to the kitchen and makes a pot of mint tea. Oh, my favorite. I gotta go pick up some mint. And takes it with her upstairs. She runs a hot bath while she sips the tea and climbs in. The warm water feels good, and it relaxes her body, and she stares at the light bulb up on the ceiling and grins. She closes her eyes and relishes the moment, the fact that they won at least the third round. And I will read it. It's about 4.5 more pages, and I'll read those before we get into the next book, because I like this. I wasn't going to read it because we just right in there, but I figured this would be opulent for the omnipotent ones. I hope you enjoyed the read. I really do. I feel so invigorating. I really, really love reading, especially good stories. Now wait until we get into Atlantis. Oh, I'm gonna flip y'all's wig. You're gonna be like, wait. Y'all gonna be talking about Rick. Can you back up? Can you read that one more time? Hey, and note 424, Tariq Peters. What's up, beloveds? What's happening? Hey, appreciate that, beloved. Did y'all enjoy that? Did y'all enjoy it? I hope you did. Anyway, been on for 46 minutes. They have this new thing where you can reach about 58 minutes to about an hour or so. No, I enjoy reading. I really do. And I want to be able to say in an hour and a half, I'll be back on to read. But you saw the hiccups. You saw the little slight yawn. I like to get these naps. I always have. And again, like I said, I appreciate you guys taking the time to listen to an old fogey like me with a young soul. I'm really old too, but I truly appreciate it. And don't be afraid. You don't have to give 10 and 20 and 30 and $40, people. You can give $2. Whatever. It all adds up, and it all doesn't add up a lot, trust me. But it does benefit when I look at the books. I'm not even going to tell you all the books. Well, you know we probably have quite a few, but there's still quite a few, and I'm not going to give you the math. It's just because I'm always adding books, even though I've been purchasing a lot of books. I went today, and they had the Thorazine Shuffle in there. And he hadn't even made it around. It was 3 something. It was like 320 or whatever. I don't know. He hadn't even made it to me. He was on the other side, and I was like, oh, he's going to be there at 5 o'clock, and they close at 4. So hopefully the book's there. I'm not tracking them, none of them. So again, I appreciate you guys. And you know what? If I take a little nap, 45 minutes or whatever, and I'm just finished drinking my green drink here, and I got some sour soap tea. And Snoo sent me the sour soap. I can't drink a lot of it because it messes with me. This is so good. I make a really good one though. But this, when I just, because I don't use Kel. I don't mess with Kel like I used to. I used to use it. Like I'd take a spoonful of it, minced, chopped up with garlic and ginger, and then I would put it in tea, and that's how I would drink it. Because you get the chlorophyll and all the benefits without getting that harmful, what is the thing in the Kel? What is it called? I know its name's in my head, but I can't pronounce it. If somebody could put it up there and quicker than I can pronounce it, I appreciate it. But it's I don't know if it's psychoschematic. I forget what it is. Let me see if I can pull it up. It's no. It's a toxic PFAS. It's natural occurring in Kel. It's not like the chemical stuff that's utilized in plastic. It's a derivative, because you got to remember that is Petri that's made. But Kel has a form of a PFAS. I forget the name. I think it's There's different kind of kales now. You need to remember that. Red kale's pretty good. Purple chard and purple kale or purple kale's pretty good. But I think it's like Valium or something like that. I'm trying to find it and it's not really pulling it up. You know, it's funny. We always ate mustard and collard greens and all that stuff, and we used to cook with kale and stuff like that. And they never had pesticides until these, and that was just to break you down. I think it's Valium or something. Valium or Valium. I can't remember. Because the U.S. kale samples contain disturbing levels of forever chemicals, just to let y'all know. And they've been doing this on purpose. That's why you need to have rage and anger, but they need to be focused. And you need guidance. Or you'll be like everybody else running around doing things that make no sense, that will never accomplish anything. But there's a thing called Valium or something like that. Valium. Thallium. Thallium. Let me type thallium. Let me see, because I'm not pulling it up here. Thallium. Let me see if I'm right. Thallium. Thallium. Is it I-U-M-E? Oh, it says, oh, okay, here we go. Thallium. In kale. There we go. Family including broccoli, green cabbage, collard, Brussels sprouts, and rape seeds is that they appear to accumulate the heavy metal thallium from the soil. Now, I'm not saying it's natural, but it's what they've been doing to the soil. The problem is, I think the reported thing for thallium is not 0 point, which call as far as it's like 1 point something, and I think the accepted value is it's almost like nickel or aluminium. It's not healthy. It's not a good stuff. And aluminum. I mean, this is not natural occurring. You need to know that, okay? Because most vegetables, watercress, turnips, stuff like that, things that are really good for you, have it. But it never came this way. It was always the natural form. What we're seeing is an absurdity, as absurdity, and unnatural form. And that's why I tell people, when you're going to deal with kale, grow it yourself. It's not complicated or hard. And if you get organic, make sure you know which one you're getting and it's third-party tested, because most of the stuff you see in the stores, these people are spraying it. Okay? That's why I don't really partake of it. But with this drink, because I've called them, probably more than they want to admit, and I told them it doesn't take but a quarter of a tablespoon of kale to have a benefit that you're looking for. And that way you minimalize down from 0.05 or even less of kg per liter of the toxic metals, which is in the water and everything else. And that way you still can get the benefits, even with the chlorophyll, because all green cruciferous fruits and vegetables are good for you. It's just what the enemy does, because like I stated earlier in the lot when I was out in the sunlight talking to you, only we can be the change, unless you don't mind going to the Food Line, Path, Mark, Safe, or whatever. And I want to throw this out. It's a little tea. And especially for you individuals on the East Coast, and I think Louisiana, maybe Texas, why would you name a place Wawa and another one Moo Moo? Look into that. Okay? Well, enjoyed y'all's company, and I hope that you received something and got something. So I was saying Valium. What is Valium anyway? Whatever. And then I said titanium, yeah, thallium. So look into that, pay attention, okay? And also remember, if you buy something that has BHT in there, you're attempting to give yourself cancer. I'm just letting you know, okay? I'll see y'all maybe shortly, or I'll see y'all in the AM. I don't think I'm gonna do shenanigans type morning. I'm kind of like, I enjoy doing it, we'll see. All right. So I appreciate y'all, and I hope the read was good. I don't know if anybody's commenting or nothing because you know they do what they do. All right. So maybe a little later, and if not, I got a couple of videos I need to upload. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Y'all have a great and grand evening.